Good afternoon, LinkedIn. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me. So, today I thought I would share how to show up more or even more professionally in your life, not just on LinkedIn, but everywhere else that you go. And I thought I would share 3 tips. And here's why this is important and how this started. So, sometimes we are given pieces of advice, maybe by people that really respect us, admire us, want the best for us. And hello. So sometimes we're given this advice from various different people, and it's all well meaning. And I wanted to share this because I specialise in visibility. In fact, I've been specialising in this officially for the last 10 years, unofficially for a lot longer. So, and I can see you saying hi. I can't see who's saying hi, so apologies if I'm not mentioning your names. It's just saying LinkedIn user today, which is strange. Obviously, something to do with my settings. So, here's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share 3 insights that I got recently that really helped me to be able to help other people to become more visible. Visibility specialism is something that I specialise in. I haven't tapped it onto something else or anything else. It's the actual visibility itself. It's how you show up. It's how you are in the world. It's how you are professionally. And I've been doing this, as I say, officially for a decade and unofficially with thousands of people, businesses, organisations and networks for a long time. And to be honest, I can't stop doing it. So as I was on a call with a mentor very recently, and I was asking some questions, it was like everything that they were saying really sparked off light bulbs. And I was struck by how can one person spit so many nuggets out? Hey, it's Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. And it's Eunice as well. Hi, Eunice. And hello to the rest of you that are showing up there. So I was really struck by how somebody can just be answering a question and saying so much stuff that had so much gold in it. And it just got me to thinking, like, if I could give my LinkedIn connections, my friends, my clients, just 3 pieces of information so that we're not here forever and a day, like, what would those bits of information be? And I had to dig deep. There were so many things that I could share with you, and perhaps that will be one for another time. And by the way, if you like anything that you hear here, put it into action. Do it as quickly as possible. That's one of the things that I really love to share, but I love doing too. The quicker you can put it into action, get it into action, the quicker it becomes almost a habit. So by the way, I'm sat at home. I'm sat in my kitchen, so you can see my toaster and everything behind me. But don't worry about that, because these tips I know will help. They'll be helpful. Anyway, so what was I going to say first? I guess without any further ado, let me share some of the things that I've seen help people to increase their visibility. Now, I have to say, this is not a subject that I study and then kind of spill out, oh, this light bulb and that light bulb. This is something that I live. This is something that I live with, through clients. It's something that I can't not do. I do help other people to become more visible, and I also, in doing that, need to continue finding different ways, especially now, especially in these kind of very strange times. So you would have seen anyone that's seen some of the posts that I've put up in the last even 24 hours, you would have seen that I'll be speaking at the International Compliance Association's festival, which I'm really looking forward to. It's not been done until the 22nd of October for me, but there are some phenomenally amazing speakers. So if you are in financial services and that's your thing, compliance, money laundering, all of that kind of stuff, do check them out. I have to say, the ICA or International Compliance Association, they are a phenomenal organisation, and I'm really blessed to have spoken for their conferences and stuff for a couple of years now. So do check them out. that's just one example. That's one speaking gig. I don't post every speaking gig I have on here because there's too many. Very recently, as in within the last couple of hours, I was contacted again by the BBC, asked to do a new segment, which I'll be looking at tomorrow. So let's just have a look. So I can see some hello. No worry about the toasters and stuff. That's all right. You all know that when lockdown's over, pile round here, we'll all have coffee and toast. Only I don't drink coffee. So that coffee machine isn't even something that I use. And someone's saying, oddly, it's not showing up in your feed. And this is weird because some of you, I can see your names, and some of you, it just says LinkedIn user. So I'll look into that later on. I'm still new to LinkedIn Live, but not new to doing live streams. Anyway, I've got some really great nuggets to share, which I would love to share with you. So without any further ado, 3 things that can really enhance your visibility. And they're not the obvious things. I could tell you to be consistent. I could tell you to put yourself out there. I could tell you to, get your branding refined. I could tell you 101 things. And although all of those things could be true, I want to give you some gold. So here's the first thing. I had a conversation very recently with somebody who said, look, Jenny, I'm not going to lie. I hate being on social media. I hate the toxicity. I hate all of the horrible stuff that goes on. I don't like it. I don't enjoy the experience. And that saddens me because within all of these things that happen, there are some great stuff as well. So if you're the great news person, if you're the feel-good person, if what you do helps to motivate people, helps to enhance their businesses, helps to enhance them as a person, it could be in the professional, spiritual development realms. I know we've got Eunice, who's a yoga teacher here. There's all of these different things, all of these different ways in which you can actually add like a nice splash of colour to the pond if it feels murky, if it feels dark. A lot of people struggle with that. They think they have to create lots of content. They think that they have to put loads of posts. They think that they have to be out there all the time. And to some extent, that's true. But here's the first nugget. I, many years ago, worked with a sales manager who always used to say to me, you have 2 of these and 1 of these. And what they meant by that was 2 ears, 1 mouth. And they used to say, use that in the ratios that they appear in, 2 ears, 1 mouth. And one of the biggest nuggets, and one of my observations, and some of my clients have been, like massively huge. So as an example, I remember being asked once by the BBC to comment on somebody who'd given themselves £265 million pay rise. Like, that's mind-blowing, eye-watering money. And let's be honest here, I personally have never created that income for myself. I know people that have created millions. I've had clients that have created millions, and I've had clients that have done really well. But nobody escapes this nugget. Listen more than you speak. So if you are a business owner who's busy in creating content, listen to not everybody, but listen to the people who need your work. What are they saying? What are they struggling with? What are they worrying about? What are they saying exactly? When I started as a visibility specialist, people weren't talking about visibility then because nobody articulated it that way. They used to say things like, I need to just put myself out there. I need to show up and get out there. I need to put my work out there. And when I listened, it was like a mantra of the same words that they were using. At that time, 10 years ago, they weren't saying, I need more visibility or I need to be visible. That came in actually about 5 years ago, especially here in the UK, where people realised that visibility was a thing. And they would then say, and even now, I need to be more visible. But I only knew how to present that information, how to connect with my audience, how to even keep that kind of engagement by listening. So the first nugget is listen more than you speak. You will start to hear things that will literally make you facepalm and think, oh my gosh, I didn't realise. Now, I know that many of you that are connected with me here are business users, but also and equally, According to my stats anyway, a lot of you are executive directors and a lot of you are employed professionals. So your work, your job, your position, your role doesn't require you to create content for social media. But here's how you miss your opportunities to raise your profile professionally within your industry, within your organisation, by not doing that. When you listen, you hear what your peers are talking about, you hear what your colleagues are speaking about, you hear what your team needs, you hear what your board needs, you hear what other board members need. So this listen first rule isn't just for sales, isn't just for business owners, it applies equally to all of you. Anyone who wants to make a difference in their words, wants to demonstrate their value, you have to listen to what people are saying. You can't make it up in your mind. Trust me, I've tried it and it doesn't work. So the first key there is to listen. Now, the second one, let's have a look. Am I missing comments? If I'm looking at you very strangely, I haven't got my glasses on. So, the event that I'm talking about. Okay, the event that I'm talking about isn't an event that I'm hosting. It's something that I posted in my feed. In fact, it was a post before this. So if you have a look after this live of the different kind of posts and things that I've shared, in fact, it's the one before this, you'll find it there. Hopefully helpful, hopefully clarifies that. Okay, so point number two. Point number two, like I say, this seems almost obvious to say, but for some reason people don't do it. I'm going to give you a bizarre example. All my life, I've been skinny, really skinny. And I've had friends who have talked about wanting to lose weight, wanting to keep in shape. Now, I'm not a health and well-being coach. I'm not a diet coach. I'm not a coach that helps people in that particular field. And those of you that know me well, very close friends will attest that I do eat healthily, but I also eat some rubbish. And I remember once being on a course and it was like a Wednesday lunchtime, and we were in this pub. We were looking at the menu trying to decide what to eat. And somebody said, "Oh, look, they do a carvery." So that was me. I was into the carvery, and I came back with my plate piled high. And as I walked past, the instructor of the course just looked at my plate of food, looked at me and said, "Gosh, I hate people like you." And what he meant by that was I had this plate, it was bulging full of food. It's the bad carvery habit. And he said, "But you won't eat all of that, will you?" I said, "Watch me. This is testament to how much I can eat and still have this weight." But those people that know me closely and seen how much I've eaten have also seen the balance, the counteract. And it always occurs to me, when someone is looking at, what they eat and weight and things like that, as a skinny person, why not ask the skinny person, what is it you do? Because that person won't be obsessing about diets or counting calories. It's likely there's something else that they do. And yeah, it could be their genetics, but you'll never know that unless you ask them. There's something else that they do. There's something different that they do that keeps them that way. Okay. And it might be a healthy habit. It might be an unhealthy habit. So point number two is look not for the kudos, not for the awards, not for the person that does the most marketing. And ironically, if you are invisible and you're not in a specific percentage of people who are highly visible, you will get passed over. However, in those people that might not be as highly visible or as well known or as guru status as you may have, heard or thought, there will be people that have got an absolute zone of excellence, absolute zone of genius in what they do, and they can really help you with that. And they might not be internationally known, but they know that thing like 100%. They know it inside out. So the second tip is go to people, not that necessarily just know or appear to know or speak about the thing, the people that do it. And this is what I find interesting when clients come to work with me and they say, "I want to be more visible and I definitely want to do more video. I would like to speak." And some of them I'll say, "Have you started doing it yet?" They'll say, "No." I want to be an international speaker. Now, I do speak internationally, and at the moment it's a lot easier because we're doing it online as well. And it really intrigues me why somebody would go and learn how to do something from somebody who's not actually doing it. So my point number 2, when I say go to people who are doing it, I have a number of mentors. You know, I have a mentor that helps me with the speaking stuff because there's things that I want to do with the speaking. So I went specifically to work with that mentor. But they do it, and there are things that they've achieved that I would love to achieve. And rather than going for somebody who's a few steps ahead of me, I've gone for somebody who is like way ahead of me, so I can learn all the intricacies. So when I ask them a question, not only do they have the knowledge to back it up and the skills to back it up, they have the behaviors, they have the stuff that isn't always easily seen to be able to help me to do that. So when you're looking for somebody to help you to be more visible or to help you to do something more of what you want to do, get really specific and look for it. You know, if, for example, being more visible for you means being a really great web designer or graphic designer, I can't teach you that. I can teach you the visibility element, but I can't teach you that. So look for somebody who's doing the very thing that you want to do. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. And then the third thing, this could be a whole new Facebook Live just by itself. Questions. Questions to me are a quest or a thirst for knowledge from the person that's asking the questions. I laugh and joke, but it's true. I have the curiosity of a 3-year-old. I don't always just ask why, but I do know the importance of delving deeper into a question. I know that as a coach, I know that as a mentor, I know it as a client, I know it as a coachee or a mentee, and I know that we can get the very best from asking more questions. But many people don't know how to ask questions. And I was recalling recently on an interview how kind of almost embarrassed I was when I was learning NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, with the lovely John Seymour, who is a phenomenal trainer. And I remember John, in one of our sessions, we were able to ask any questions, kind of picked me out and said, oh, okay, everyone, model how Jenny asks her questions. Now, ask is a word that always comes out as ARCS for me. I can ask questions, and I somehow just know what I want to ask. And the reason for that is because I have a real thirst and a real quest for knowledge. And I remember, as he kind of said this to the class, kind of cringing and thinking, oh gosh, you know, like felt like I was being made an example of, if you like, in a good way, but I was being made an example of. It's really important. So many of us aren't thirsty enough for knowledge. We say that we're passionate about helping people. We say that we're passionate about adding value. We say we want to be promoted. And we don't ask enough questions. We don't do enough to put ourselves in the place of almost a certain vulnerability to be able to ask those questions unashamedly. So if you are passionate about what you do, if you really want to add value to what you do, ask questions, ask better questions, ask fruitful questions. That will really add a richness to what you do and what you provide in a way that will have you highly visible. So hopefully helpful. Not sure that makes sense. I'll get ready to sign off now, but before I do, if you've got any questions, do type them below, and I'll be happy to answer them right now. If not, I will be back. I would like to say that I'll be back every Thursday at 2 o'clock, but it is subject to my calendar. However, this Tuesday, all goes according to plan. I'm actually going to be back here at 2 o'clock UK time, 3 o'clock Europe time. And I want to introduce you to somebody who I've connected with just this year, who really is the most kind of amazing mind. She's so good, I can't not share her with you all. So on Tuesday, I'll bring her on, and we're going to have a conversation and I'm going to share something that she's doing that I think is amazing, is awesome, is immense. So I will share that person with you on Tuesday. And don't worry if you can't make it live. The minute I hit end, what tends to happen is you get to see the replay. So it's a win-win all round. Anyway, hopefully helpful. I can't see any questions in there. So I'll be back here. And for those of you that follow me over on Facebook, yes, I still do my lives over on Facebook too, and they're slightly different. And I am on Instagram, although I do some Instagram stories over there. I really like speaking to you guys here on LinkedIn and over on Facebook. So hopefully helpful. If you have heard me say something and you think, Jenny, I'd love you to dig deeper into that, send me a message on here. I'll add it to my calendar. I've got one coming up from somebody who asked from last week. I'll add it to my calendar and I'll let you know when I'm going to be broadcasting it. So hopefully you can join live and ask all of your questions there. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all of you who have commented underneath this. Sorry that I can't see all of you different LinkedIn users. I want to say a big shout out to Stephanie. Stephanie Winham, as I call her, but that's not her name, but she's Stephanie, she's the winner, and also Eunice as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll, share this with friends and connections on here and join me for the next one on Tuesday. Take care. Bye for now.